Up for Jarvis with Svechnikov across, and they can't score. Rebound, second opportunity. Stop chance, Svechnikov. Vasilevsky somehow keeps it out. Rebound to Aho.
Don't stick Vasilevsky.
Now a chance for Carolina to get a shot through into the chest of Vasilevsky. Rebound opportunity. Jarvis, and that clinks off the metal. Didn't get all of it. Now another chance here. Jarvis trying to work it to the point, and Tampa just clears for dear life, and the Canes fans roaring with approval as Carolina's tilted the ice these last 3 minutes.
Man, what a bummer. Hi, everyone. I am Adam Gold, and this is the Canes Corner podcast. After a 4-1 Tampa win on opening night here at Lenovo Center, hope you're doing well. We are brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. He was at the game tonight, Sammy Hanna. I don't know if he had a good time. Probably not. Hurricanes lost. Hurricanes kind of not great. But aluminumcompany.com for all of your exterior home improvement needs. A couple of things I just want to get off my chest real quick. I love all of you dearly. You know that. Last I checked, you play 82 of these. 82. Now, some will say you can't go 0, 82 and 0 without first going 0, 1 and 0. That is my little bit of levity on a night that Carolina would soon forget. There wasn't a ton great in this game. Carolina looked like a team that hadn't played a lot together. I'm going to say this out loud. Tampa also didn't play great tonight. In spite of what Rod Brindamore said, when Tampa did play great, though, it was after they took the 2-1 lead. And there is no team. I don't care. I'm not sure Tampa's a playoff team. I'm saying I'm really not. And obviously, I know there are a lot of people tonight who think Carolina's not a playoff team, and that's fair based on what we saw. But there is no better team in the NHL. 0 teams in the NHL who are better at shutting the door with a third period lead than that crew out there. It's like when you play against Virginia in basketball and they have a 4-point lead, at least vintage Virginia. Current Virginia is kind of trash. It just feels like it's an insurmountable climb. And that's the way I felt after Kucherov's power play goal that made it 2-1. All right, we're going to try to get to as many things as possible. There's a lot of things to say, but I want to say this real quick. Like, there's nothing big picture to take out of this game. The fact that Carolina lost 2-1 tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. They lost 4-1 tonight. 2 empty net goals. The fact that they lost tonight in the opener is a bummer, but it doesn't stop them from it's not going to stop them from winning the division or doing anything. It's simply a game. And it's a game that was there for Carolina to win. And had they scored again at the end of the first period, and they probably should have, if they bury this Svechnikov chance that you heard the play-by-play clip of Mike Maniscalco. Because, matter of fact, I'm going to play it just to play the beginning of the clip, and I'll pull out of it. Listen to what Mike Maniscalco says here after the pass across from Jarvis to Svechnikov on the doorstep doesn't go.
Up for Jarvis with Svechnikov across, and they can't score.
And they can't score. I joked on Twitter, at AGoldFan if you want to follow me, that the expected goal, the XG of that particular play, and all of these plays register scoring chances, register an expected goal percentage. and this is completely fictitious. I made it up because I don't know how it's calculated. The expected goals on that particular play, as I tweeted, 1.07, like more than a goal. Andre's got to bury that. You have to bury that shot. Because it happened pretty soon after Braden Point's power play goal made it 1-1. You bury that, you take the momentum right back. And Carolina, as you heard in the sequence, and really even maybe for the next 3 or 4 minutes, was continuing to pressure Tampa, and it looked like they were going to be fine. But from that point on, Carolina kind of went away. And in the third period, when Kucherov scored the power play goal, again, no team shuts it down better than the Tampa Bay Lightning. But for me, that was the moment in the game, right there. And when you don't take your chances, you pay the price. We see it all the time. When you're getting the better of the play and you have opportunities to score and you leave them, ultimately you pay the price. And again, I don't think Tampa was great tonight. They're probably good defensively, got their sticks in the way. I think Carolina was more messy and imprecise than anything else. The passing was terrible. The passing was soft. In fact, Sebastian Aho, who did not cover himself in glory tonight. Sebastian Aho nullified the last, 30 seconds of one power play with a really awful backhand pass and then dragged down Zygmunt Girgensons. Again, a night that Sebastian Aho, I think, would like to forget. Bad for him that they don't play again until Tuesday. And we'll get to, there is the bigger picture about those particular things that, to me, are important to get to. And again, as we're going to try and do, we're going to be here about 30 minutes, and then we'll move on. And again, we're not going to draw too many conclusions from this game since it is one of 82. And, it's going to be a long year. I've already seen all of it. I've seen all the comments. Honestly, I get being frustrated because it was one of those games. But I'm not assigning any grand importance to it. All right, let's give we got to get a positive. Let's throw a positive out there. The Staal line was the best line of the night for either team. Staal, Martinook, and William Carrier essentially dominated the game. Got the first goal. They were all over it all night long. Dominated possession. They drew Kucherov, Point, and Guentzel. Kucherov had 2 scoring chances, I thought 2 great ones, at 5-on-5, but they were both off kind of broken plays, mishaps, bad bounces, and Anderson stopped both. Other than that, Guentzel and Point at 5-on-5 combined for 0 scoring chances, none. I'm not sure how many shots on goal they had, but they were not noticeable at 5-on-5 at all. And it's because Staal, Martinook, and Carrier were so good. They were awesome. But we're used to that. And if you heard Rod Brindamore in the postgame, Brindamore was like, yeah, they were great. They were the best line. And it's like, basically, as we all expected. Because he pretty much was disgusted with the way Carolina as a group, the rest of them, for the most part, approached the game. And I think he's really talking about the 2 scoring lines. Because while they created chances, they did not, there was a lack of firmness about the way they played tonight. And again, Andre had chances. So let me continue with the Staal line real quick. They create the first goal. And it was typical of how this line plays. They just lean on you. And because I thought there were about 20 or so seconds before the goal. And it was actually a continuation of the previous shift. And I really wish I knew who was on the ice, that I can go back and find it. Because I thought it was a continuation of the previous shift, which created some momentum, and you could kind of sense the game kind of tilting a little bit. I did point out right before that I think they had played like 14 minutes of the game, and the Hurricanes had one shot on goal, and it was an early Andrei Svechnikov break in from the left side, where he went, I guess, forehand, backhand, and Vasilevsky. I think he got a glove to it. Yeah, he definitely did, because it was the only shot on goal until the Jordan Staal goal. But Martinook hounds Brandon Hagel, forces the turnover. Second bad play of the period for Hagel, because Seth Jarvis forced him into a mistake, and he took a penalty that nullified the end of a Tampa power play. So Martinook causes a turnover from Hagel. Carrier swoops in, steals the puck. He goes around behind the net from left to right, wraps it around back in front to Jordan Staal, who won the race with, I guess, Liljegren and Emil Liljegren, and just tapped it into an empty net. He didn't miss. And that made it 1-0. And that's the way the period ended. It was really, I thought Carolina was pretty poor for the first 14 minutes or so. But in the last 6 minutes of the period, they freaking dominated. They just couldn't get another goal. From the Staal goal on, it was one-way traffic, completely downhill. The Roslovic had a breakaway. Jacob Slavin had a breakaway. A great play by Jackson Blake in his own end, who not only won a board battle, but an aerial backhand flip out of the zone led to the Slavin breakaway. I guess the puck was bouncing or so, because Jacob just threw it so high over the net. I'm not sure it would have scored on a soccer goal. But Carolina had opportunities to score in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the period, didn't take them. At one point, the grade A scoring chances, according to Natural Stat Trick, were 4-1 in favor of Tampa. That was pretty late on in the period. The Staal goal made it 4-2 in terms of grade A scoring chances, but the period ended 5-4 in favor of Carolina. So it made it look, the last 4, 5, 6 minutes made it look as though Carolina was the better team in the period, when the answer was nobody was the better team, because Tampa wasn't good either. Not a 5-on-5. I think Tampa had 6 grade A scoring chances at 5-on-5 all night. Carolina had double that. Again, I'm not going to lean into entirely what Natural Stat Trick has to say. I've oftentimes been like, what the heck are they looking at? But, I mean, Carolina had plenty of scoring chances. The fact that Andrei Svechnikov had 5 grade A scoring chances by himself and had no goals? Wow. No way. No way I would have thought that would have happened. In fact, Andres, let's see if we have, let me get to the page here, because I think it's important. Yeah, let me get to it. Andre, expected goals for 1.5. Well, that was his line. But he, Aho, and Jarvis, who played together, they started the training camp practicing together, hadn't played together or practiced together until, I guess, yesterday, or maybe even they didn't practice together yesterday. I don't remember. I wasn't there. But they started the game tonight, to the point where I was surprised they started the game tonight. In fact, I was unaware they started the game together tonight, because brilliant me, said, hey, I believe we have a line change, because I noticed that Svechnikov was playing with Aho and Jarvis. I just figured Rod decided 2 shifts in to make the switch. Whatever. So there were chances created by that trio. They just weren't finished. All right, now let me stop and give you a big picture element here. I talked to Rod before the game. We talked to Rod before every game. And I said this on the radio as well. The real big difference between this team and other teams, I still think Carolina's a playoff team. Right? This tonight doesn't change my feeling on that. But what it has done was it has eliminated the margin for error. So as long as Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov, and Necas are really good all year, and in the case of Svechnikov and Necas, take another step, and maybe even Aho and Jarvis take another step. As long as those four guys play well and produce, Carolina's going to be fine. However, because you don't have a Teravainen, a Nason, a Guentzel / Bunting, that particular position is out. Because you don't have that. It means that Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov, Necas, they must be good all the time. Because when they're not, who are you going to call? Jordan Staal is not going to score 30 goals this year. At least I don't think so. I mean, he's on pace to score 82, so who am I to say? So the fact that tonight, to me, the difference wasn't that Tampa's stars played well. I don't think they did. But their two biggest stars offensively, Nikita Kucherov, or whatever I just tried to say, and Braden Point, each scored power play goals. So Tampa got two, one each from their two best players, and Carolina got one from their captain, Jordan Staal, but nothing from their four big bats in the middle of their batting order. And we already talked about the four players I'm talking about. So Sebastian Aho, no good tonight. Zero. He was a zero tonight. He can't be that. Like, again, margin for error. If Sebastian Aho plays like that all year, and he won't, so I'm not even going to pretend, but when he plays like that, Carolina's probably going to lose. And when Andrei Svechnikov, when he doesn't bury the juiciest chance, when he misses a 2-footer, now we've all missed 2-footers before. But when he misses from there, probably not going to win. Necas was, I thought he had some decent moments, but he wasn't great tonight. Nobody was great. Nobody not named Staal, Martinook, or Carrier anyway. But he wasn't good. Of the four, scorers, Jarvis was probably the best, but it wasn't a great game for him either. But I think Jarvis is probably the best. Andre created the most opportunities. But at some point, we've been saying this about Andre for a long, long time. At some point, it's just not enough to play well, but not score. Because he goes through stretches where, he makes positive impacts on the team. He did a lot of good things tonight. But it doesn't really matter if you don't score. And Andre played tonight. You know who he played tonight like? Seriously. Andre was Jesper Fast tonight. Go back and watch any random, pick out a random Hurricanes game last year that Jesper Fast played in, and you'll find tons of moments that Andre produced, and Jesper Fast produces the same moment but can't score. That's what Andre was tonight. Quickie. Can't happen. Again, margin for error is lost. You don't have the depth scoring that you used to. So it's got to come from the guys who are expected to drive in runs. And they left a lot of runners on base tonight. In the first two periods, nothing in the third. They didn't leave anything on base in the third period. Tampa, again, once they got the goal, Tampa shut it down. All right. Second element, I believe a lot of us, myself included, expected and wanted Pyotr Kochetkov to start tonight. I know a lot of people were mad about that. I'm not telling you not to be. I don't blame you. I wanted Kochetkov to start. I don't know about did he deserve to start or not. I thought both Kochetkov and Anderson were excellent in the preseason. I said this on the radio. If we were judging by the preseason performances, I would say Anderson was probably better, but more was asked of Anderson in his two preseason starts than was asked of Kochetkov. And I thought of I think 4 total goals they allowed. I thought Kochetkov had one that, while I don't think he could have done anything about the goal, I think he played it poorly, but I don't think it mattered. I think it was going to be a goal anyway because he was never going to see the puck. And that happened in his first start, the one in Tampa, by the way. And maybe Rod wasn't going to use him because he played both of the games against Tampa in the preseason. But then again, that Tampa team wasn't the Tampa team we saw tonight. So I'm not sure it mattered who he played against, but I thought he would go with Kochetkov because I think it's time for Kochetkov to take the spot from Anderson and just kind of flip it. Freddie's going to play. They're both going to play. It's basically going to be a 50-50 split. Maybe there'll be a little lean one way or the other. Rod said that he thought Freddie played well tonight. I think he's right, except for the second goal. I thought Freddie played great tonight until the Kucherov power play goal in the third period. That goal cannot go. Can't go. Bad goal. Kucherov, yes, it's a one-timer. Yes, he's waltzing into the Hall of Fame when he's done playing. But a one-timer cleanly saw we'll edit this out. But a one-timer from above the right faceoff circle without a screen in front, you got to stop that goal. You have to stop that goal. So the first goal, that ain't on Freddie. That's a goal. That's just a power play goal. Braden Point, in tight, nothing you can do. Second goal, that one can't go. So the old adage in hockey, you're only as good as the goals you allow. While I think Freddie played great, can't really like that goal. But if you're out here blaming Freddie for the first one, I think you're just predisposed to blame Frederik Andersen for giving up a goal. So, but you can't allow the second one. And the Hurricanes, by that point, had already established that weren't necessarily invested in doing what was necessary to beat Vasilevsky, except for that Staal line. They were spectacular. So I already went through the 4 stars. Your stars got to be your stars. And when Carolina doesn't have that depth, they don't have the Nasons of the world or the Taravanins to bail you out or the Guentzels or Buntings. Michael Bunting was a good player for most of the first part of the season. He was just necessary in order to get Guentzel. And I think they wanted to use the Bunting money elsewhere, which they have. All right, one more element here, and then we'll get out of here. The power play was bad, quite bad. 0 for 4 bad tonight. One of those, they were only on the power play for 4 seconds. It was a terrible call. right on the faceoff. Seth Jarvis gets whistled for slashing and breaking the stick of Erik Cernak. If you watch the video, I don't know if I retweeted it or not. I think I did. But Walt Ruff posted it at Walt Ruff on Twitter. There's no slash at all. Jarvis and Cernak's sticks did get kind of intertwined for a moment. But it looks to me like Cernak broke his own stick. And even if he didn't, that's not a slash. But 4 seconds into a Carolina power play, it's negated. Of course, Tampa also had a 4-second power play at the end that didn't matter. So maybe Carolina was really 0 for 3 on the power play, and Tampa was 2 for 5 on their power play. But ultimately, that's what this game came down to. Tampa scored twice with the man advantage. The Hurricanes did not. And for those people scoring at home, this ain't new. Tampa's power play has always been kryptonite to Carolina, much like the Rangers' power play or back in the day, Boston's power play. Last year, the Lightning won the season series 2-1, including an 8-2 win here at Lenovo Center. They were 5 for 12 on the power play in their 3 games, 5 out of 12. You do that math, it's about almost 40. It's like 41.7%, I believe. The Hurricanes are 2 out of 13. I mean, obviously it's not good, but it's not tragic. You're not 0 for 20 in 3 games. 2 out of 13. If you score a power play goal against, I mean, these games are generally tight. So, but the power play, the Tampa power play, has always been difficult on Carolina because they have elite players who move the puck well. And with that said, second goal, as I said before, can't go. It's just not a dangerous enough scoring chance for that to beat Frederik Andersen. So, using the adage, you're only as good as the goals you allow, it's fair to say Freddie wasn't good tonight, even though right before then, I thought he was special. Again, he did stop Kucherov on great scoring chances at 5-on-5 twice. But ultimately, he couldn't stop the last goal, that second goal. Final score is the final score. But the Kucherov goal absolutely was the killer.
Tampa will win the draw. They'll keep it. Kucherov hammers it and scores! On the power play, he takes the feed from Hedman. And the Lightning again wasting no time when they score a power play goal. 5 seconds into the man advantage, have taken a 2-1 lead.
So 5 seconds into that power play, they score. The other power play goal they scored, I believe it was 12 seconds into the power play. Yeah, Carolina needs to win more faceoffs. Aho was bad in the faceoff circle. Jesperi Kotkaniemi wasn't bad in the faceoff circle. No, nor was Jack Drury. But ultimately, I really felt like this game came down to Carolina not taking advantage of the opportunities they had, and then you're leaving it up to some elite players who do what elite players do. They score goals. But I'm not going to draw big picture stuff out of this. Based on the second goal, though, if I were Rod Brindamore, I would turn to Kochetkov on Tuesday. Not that I'm mad at Freddie, but you're only a tandem. You're only the guy to me if you don't let in a bad goal, because it's a bad goal. And that will do it for us. A couple of things very quickly. Just I was going through the comments before. And as we get more used to doing this, we'll be a little bit more interactive. The Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis combination, that's fine. I got no problem with it. I like it. And again, Andre created a bunch of chances tonight. Jarvis had a bunch of chances tonight. But that second line with Kotkaniemi, Necas, and Roslovic, I'm not sure that line works. Really not. I think there needs to be, I don't know. I mean, Kotkaniemi is supposed to be a little bit of a physical element. Roslovic might just be somebody who is a great skater and doesn't really do much else. I don't know what to say. I wish it were different. I wish Roslovic, who is a beautiful skater, I wish he was more productive. He's had one season of more than 20 goals. And Roslovic has played with some really, really good players. He's played with Patrick Laine. He played in a scoring role with Columbus. When he got to New York last year with the Rangers, he was playing with Kreider and Zibanejad. He's never been an offensive producer. He's a wonderful skater, though. But that's where you miss, I don't know, let's just say Steph Nason. That'll do it. Hurricanes fall 4-1. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. aluminumcompany.com. I lied. I have two more things I want to mention. One, I thought Jackson Blake was okay. I mean, again, nobody was great. I thought Blake had a couple of puck management moments in the first period, but I thought he recovered well. I also think the pass to Slavin, the aerial flip to Slavin, which could have been a goal had Jacob finished the play, was an elite play in your own end, but also the awareness, and he knew that Slavin was ahead of the play. I thought it was great. Brent Burns was 6th among Hurricanes defensemen in ice time tonight. He played under 16 and a half minutes tonight. So the last time Brent Burns played less than 18 minutes was in the last game of the regular season last year when he only played 10. We know why he only played 10. They were just trying to keep him healthy, getting into the playoffs. Brent Burns normally plays like 22 minutes a night. When we talk about the things that could become problems, even though we didn't expect them to become problems, at what, 39? I mean, you never know how fast it goes. Something to keep an eye on. All right, now I'm really done. Thank you to the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm Adam Gold. We'll see you after the Canes and the Devils on Tuesday night. All right back here at Lenovo Center. Until then, hope all is well. Be safe, be well, and we will see you next week.